Hello and welcome back to Yin Yoga for our meridians. This is the 11th Yin Yoga for the Meridian series video, but they don't have to be in order. But it's nice to know that there is more and there is another one, the last one coming too. Today we are going to target the Pericardium Meridian that protects the heart, and it also helps to remove excess energy. And when unbalanced, we can have difficulties expressing our emotions, amongst other things. So let's balance the meridian that governs the pericardium together by taking a comfortable seat. I'm sitting on a pillow, and since the meridian runs in the upper body, front of the spine, out the chest, arm, elbow, and the wrist and hands, we are going to target the upper body with perhaps one also for the legs if you wanted to include them, but they are included just by being here, so I think that's really good. Okay, so let's take the fingers to the floor with this upper meridian body series. I like to start to bring some life force, some prana, some energy, some chi through the arms. So let's start with our 5 breaths. We're inhaling through the arms, through the fingers, and exhale, take it all the way back down, and inhaling all the way up towards the ceiling, towards the sky, and exhaling. And just by moving the arms, we are really touching all the upper body meridians. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale one more, and exhale, bringing it all the way back down. And we're going to take our first pose, which is a child's pose. So let's get comfortable on our knees, tucking the toes under. If we needed to, we'll put, of course, a pillow or something underneath between the knees, or we might have a blanket for the head. We are going to take the hands forward, bring the big toes together, separate the knees wide, and then we also are getting a nice yummy lower back and hip flexor, and really an overall hip stretch as well. We can bend the elbows and take the elbows out a little bit, and that way you might feel more in towards the chest. Forehead is down, either on a pillow or on a block or straight down to the mat. And we have about 20 breaths here to really sink into our comfortable child's pose position. So go and find your edge of the pose, and from there we hold it, and then we do our best to keep it still. And if we needed more for the chest, we can always take the arms out a little bit more. Just simply dive a little bit deeper down from the hips up towards the shoulders. It's a nice gentle pressure on the body, and then from there we'll just relax all parts, just letting our body be as heavy and relaxed as it's comfortable for you. Imagining the breath from the center line out the chest, out the arms and palms. Stay for another 5 breaths here. And gently making your way up onto all fours. And moving directly into heart melting pose, which is on the knees. Hips and knees are stacked, arms, hands are supporting, and then we'll take the forehead to your mat and getting a little bit of a different or a big different stretch for the front body, through the shoulders, out the arms. Like a nice full elongation for the whole spine. And a nice passive hold, finding our edge and holding the pose, keeping it still. So we might have to move around to find where it's comfortable for us. And I'm keeping my elbows off of the floor for this one. You might be more comfortable with your elbows down. See where your edge is for that nice transformation of energy in the shoulders. Melting in the chest. Letting the energy from the midline extend out through the chest and the shoulders and the arms and the hands. Another 5 breaths here. And slowly coming up onto all fours from there. And we're going to go directly into a wrist stretch. So we're going to turn the palms. And you might have a blanket for your hands to lean upon, or you might roll your yoga mat up halfway in or quarter way in for support for your mat, or just folding it maybe one way in. So we can be here on the knees. This is a lot of pressure on the hands and the wrists, and you might sit on a block or you might sit down into your heels and get a different stretch in the wrists. So see how it feels for you. We'll stay here for about 10 breaths. This is pretty intense. Just imagining excess energy leaving the body, leaving the arms, the hands where we hold a lot of things, and sometimes it gets stuck in the wrists. We just want to make sure the pathways are open for exchange of energy. Take another 3 breaths here. And slowly bringing it up. And maybe gently moving the fingers a little bit side to side or back and forth, pumping some of that life force through the center palm and releasing and opening up more pathways into those forearms, up to the shoulders, into the heart center, into the pericardium meridian. From here, we'll go into a shoulder stretch and chest stretch. I feel like they really target both. So we just choose one that works for us. Either we have our arm, we're gonna lay flat on the belly and come over to the right side. So either we can have the arm out straight or we can bend it into like a cactus pose. And that will go a little bit more in towards the front of the chest. This might be a little bit more for the shoulder. So just see what works for you. And if it feels like it doesn't even work to lay and put pressure on it, maybe sitting with your arm out like this, maybe turning them down like this, or something that works for you, that does make you feel something into your chest and shoulders. So I'm going to come over onto my right side and my arm out to the side, and I'm going to just roll over to one side today. Some of you know the different variations and you might work with one that works well for you. This one works really well for me today. And then the key is, of course, to be as passive as we can. I'm going to take my left foot as a kickstand behind and my left arm behind. And I am feeling a whole lot of chi and energy moving through my shoulder and my chest and up my arm. We'll stay here for about 20 breaths, enjoying a nice, passive chest shoulder opener, making sure that we are within our comfort zone, our edge of the pose, where we can hang out for a long time without any discomfort. Being as passive as we can. Stay here for about another 5 breaths or so. And slowly start to make your way over to your belly, onto the chest. And switching to the second side, you might, like me, have to kind of move your way around a little bit. So we'll come over onto the left side. I'm going to have my arms straight, palm is facing down, and maybe one leg is in front. Maybe this is plenty of pressure for the shoulder. One shoulder might feel very different from the other. So do something that works for you. Maybe you lay flat on your belly and have your arm out to the side. Maybe it works to kickstand one leg behind you and taking your right arm behind, or the freed up arm if you're on the other side. And then the magic is to be as passive as we can here, within our comfort zone for the next 20 breaths or so. And just opening up the nice pathways in the chest and shoulder and arm. Enjoying any sensations that comes up, breathing into them. Noticing how the breath helps to move things along in the shoulder area, in the neck area. Clearing pathways by just simply putting passive pressure onto certain parts of the body in certain designed poses that will target the different points in the different meridians. And today we are targeting the different points in the Pericardium Meridian that governs and protects the heart, our emotions, our well-being, our feeling. We'll stay here for another 5 breaths. And slowly making your way out from your shoulder, chest opener, I'm going to push back to child's pose and get a little nice elongation for the arms. And then from here, we're going to move into reverse prayer pose. Hands behind us. So you might take your hands around your elbows. You might find your hands. You might take your hands and put your palms together behind your heart. Same as in front of the heart, but behind. And it's a whole different chest opener. And again, you can take your elbows. That works really well too. So you can sit however you like to sit. I'm going to choose to sit in Virasana, in horseshoe pose in YinYoga, which is sitting down between my feet with my toes flattened out behind me and getting a little opening for my knees as well. I'm going to take a little help from my pillow. And then I'm feeling comfortable. I hope you find a comfortable seat to sit. Cross your legs, sit on your knees, stand on your knees, or sit on a block or a pillow or something, however you like to sit. And then we can take our arms out to extend them and find them behind us, and walking our hands up and finding prayer hands behind the heart. And pressing those palms together, rolling the shoulders open, and then from there just simply enjoy and sitting. And the hands might slide down a little bit, or you might have it like a perfect place for your hands to be, or if you have your elbows, that's usually like a more natural way to relax into just sitting with your hands and arms behind you. This is an excellent chest opener, shoulder, wrist stretch, all kind of in one. And it really does help to open up that front line of the body, targeting our pericardium meridian with our last pose. Sitting nice and tall, breathing into any of the tight areas. We have about another 10 breaths here. Noticing how the energy switches around in the shoulders, in the palms. Maybe you have to switch your grip behind your back. Maybe you are comfortable where you are. Taking 3 nice deep breaths together. And slowly sliding your hands down and releasing the arms and That was a lot of different things for the arms and the chest and the shoulders and the wrists. A lot of movement, moving around like on the inner layers. So we'll take a Shavasana together to let all of that assimilate into the different parts where it needs to go in our body. We'll have a little neck pillow today. Get comfortable if you have blankets or anything that makes you more cozy in your resting pose. And really the most important pose of all is to just lay down after our yoga practice and let everything assimilate into the areas where it needs to go. Press the head, adjust the shoulder blades, adjust your pillow if you have one. And just lay and noticing the new pathways that are open for the Pericardium Meridian to release and transfer excess energy out from the heart center. Sometimes there's a lot to hold on to. Some of it we just don't need anymore. So we just invite that to gently be removed and open up for new feelings, new emotions that serves us. Relaxing all the way from the toes, all the way up the legs, the hips, the torso, fingertips, arms, neck and jaw. Relaxing the face. And gently start to move your toes and your fingers. Make circles on your wrists and your ankles. Stretch your arms overhead. And bending your knees in and coming over to one side. And from there making your way up to a comfortable seat. I hope you have a nice feeling from your heart and out, like a nice big extension. We'll take the fingers all the way out and take 5 more nice deep breaths together to help any excess energy to be removed and for new energy to be transported into us. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Should feel a little easier to move the arms. Inhale and exhale, and inhale, exhale. 2 more, bringing it all the way up. Exhale, inhale, And take it down to the heart center. And we'll take a few moments to sit together with our palms facing up on our knees and just letting it sip out from the heart, out the shoulders, out the arms, wrists, palms, fingers. Having the palms up is a nice way for receiving. And you can fill in the blank on what to receive. There's a lot of options. There are no limits on what to receive. And gently bringing the palms together in front of the heart. Thank you so much for joining me for this Yin Yoga session for our Pericardium Meridian, the 11th in the series of 12 classes. So the next one up will be the Triple Burner Meridian. So they go pairs. So this one, pericardium and triple burner, they kind of run alongside, and one work up in and one work out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Practicing with you is always fun for me, and I just kind of envisioning all of you out there. So have a wonderful day, and thank you. And let's take an Om together to connect and to close our practice. Take a nice big inhale. And one big extension of the arms from the heart, and then we'll just give ourselves a nice big hug. And then we'll extend them back out again and cross the different variation and hug everybody that we have not been able to hug the last almost 3 months. So we can do it this way and send out hugs to each other. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.